The 2,225-mile Transpac yacht race from Los Angeles to Honolulu is held during odd-number years. In 2003, I got to help bring Pipe Dream, one of the race boats, back. I would be sailing with three others, John the owner, Matt who sailed out with the boat, and Mike. It is a relatively straight sail to Hawaii, but not so simple going back. Instead, you have to avoid the North Pacific High, adding 1,100 miles to the trip for a total of 21 days at sea. I landed in Honolulu on August 29th, 2 days before Hurricane Jimena came close to the big island of Hawaii. We didn't want to leave until after it had passed and used the time provisioning the boat in preparation for our departure. We spent our time at the Waikiki Yacht Club waiting and waiting. On September 1st, after a nice breakfast at the Ilikai Hotel, we departed Honolulu and headed for the mainland, making sure to call home and let people know we were on our way. I don't remember much about the first 3 days as I slept off my seasickness while others used a more conventional method of dealing with the malady. When the waves calmed down, we tried our luck at fishing but found the best way to catch mahi-mahi was to drag a fake squid on a 100-pound test line off the back of the boat when the sun was a thumbnail above the horizon with your arm fully extended. After discovering this, catching fresh fish became simple and we would catch 2 fish a day. We saw many spectacular sights, including whales and dolphins. We also saw quite a few ships in the middle of the ocean. Eventually, we got too close to that North Pacific High and lost all of our wind. After sitting in the sun for a few hours, we decided to go for a swim in about 18,000 feet of water. While we could see quite a way in the perfectly clear water and never saw any sharks looking for an easy meal, we would jump off the boat, swim around to the ladder, and quickly climb aboard the boat. After cooling off, we decided to turn on the engine and see if we could find our wind, as we didn't have enough fuel to motor the whole way home. We also resumed our fishing routine. We tried using the satellite phone to order a pizza, but they don't deliver to the middle of the ocean. Instead, we went back to fishing and caught 2 mahi-mahi within minutes of each other, which shows how quickly their color changes. One day, an albatross landed on the top of our mast. In the middle of the ocean, I discovered the law of compounding problems. Near sunset, we came in view of a ship and quickly determined it was going to get close to us. At the same time, we caught a massive fish and needed to deal with that. The satellite phone also rang. Ultimately, we had to contact the Japanese ship on the VHF radio, and they ended up altering course to avoid us. We lived to enjoy a spectacular sunset. After traveling further north in San Francisco, on September 14th we made our turn to the east, got the spinnaker up, and headed for home. The next day we celebrated my birthday, and Matt took care to bake me a cake in the gimbaled oven. At this point we kept the spinnaker up and really started cracking off the miles. The weather also turned colder and no longer could we hang out in shorts and t-shirts. We put on our fallies and didn't take them off until we got to port. On September 22nd, we sailed past the LA gate and were almost home. The Catalina Island tourist ferry passed us and none of the passengers realized we had just sailed over 3,300 miles. It didn't take long to sail a short trip to the Long Beach Marina. John and Matt were happy to have completed the round trip with Pipe Dream and get her back to her berth. We were all happy to be home safely.